Hey guys, so today we're just going to have a more in-depth look at the JXD. Now the people over at JXD have asked me to do another video, and it's been a while since I spoke to them about doing a video. So I thought I'd do another video on the JXD S7800b just to clear a few things up and show you guys what works and what doesn't. So I've had it now for a couple months, and you know, it's still a great handheld device, and there's a few things I found out about the device over usage purely that you may be interested in. So to start off this video, we're going to go through the same sort of thing we went through with the quick review, and that's the buttons and stuff. So on the bottom here we have the reset button and the micro SD slot. On the side we've got the volume rocker, then we've got the R1, R2 at the top, the HDMI, which is a mini HDMI, the USB, which 2.0, which doesn't charge but does transfer data, the headphone jack, the dedicated charging port, the L2, R2, and the power on the side. And on the front, I believe, to the right of the analog, I don't know if you can see that because it's a wee bit dark in here, there's actually a camera, and on the back also, you can see just there at the top of the screen now that there is also another camera. These cameras aren't exactly high-tech, they're not like 8 megapixels, so they won't blow you away, but they're still pretty decent cameras. So functionality wise, you know, this thing's been pretty good. You can use the analog sticks and the face the D-pad, the face buttons, and the C, B, A, and D buttons right here. And we've also got in the bottom a back button. I'm not sure if you can see that, guys. There, that's better. We've got a back button, sort of a multi-screen button there, a start and a select. And then on this side we have the gamepad button, which configures the gamepad, the home button, and the 2 speakers on the front as well. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, the home button and the back button are really good. They're a sort of a really good included thing because you no longer have these buttons on the bottom of the screen via touch. They're there via dedicated buttons, so it means more area for gameplay, more screen size, so to speak. So yeah, that's basically the sort of gist of what's around it. If you want to check out a bit more in depth, look at my quick review. I think I show a little bit more, and it's probably a little bit clearer too. If we go into the settings, we can see down at the bottom here we've got the About tablet, and if we click on that, we do get like the Android version here and the baseband version. Now it runs on 4.4, which is KitKat, I believe. There we go. And yeah, it runs really smoothly. Sadly, it doesn't run Lollipop yet, but it does run on Android 4.4. There's quite a few games that are supposedly able to work with this. None of them are really listed anywhere, so it's kind of hit and miss on what you've got to try. The few games on here do work. The Bard's Tale works great. Order and Chaos works great. Reaper works good, Gunslugs works good, obviously Fury's a touch game along with Boom Beach and Clash of Clans, but they all work great. Then you've got the Game Center up here, which gives you everything else that you need. As I said in my last video, it's very sort of in the grey area in the sense that you can get like free Android games that are actually paid for, and there is an update right now, but I'm not going to update it yet. And obviously you can play your emulators in here, which do work fantastic. Now, I have got a few of these games, downloaded them and tried them out, and like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they all work with the gamepad really nicely. And if you look at my other videos, the HDMI out works great as well. So there's a couple of things that I'm a little bit annoyed with that they haven't included. The main thing really is the Bluetooth. There is no Bluetooth mode, so you can't connect an external speaker, which is a shame, and it's a bit of a pain, but that's how it is. The other thing is the actual charging, the dedicated port. It's not that I don't trust it, it's just that I'm worried that it will break after some usage. So far it's been pretty good, but then I don't play it whilst it's on charge, because I'm a little bit worried that it will break the innards of this thing. This isn't to say it's not a sturdy build, it's really sturdy, but it's just very sort of, you know if you've got one, it just feels a little bit on the flimsy side. So, on to the next thing. The other downside is Google Play has to be installed. Now, Google Play usually comes as a sort of stock thing on a Google Android device, but as this has dedicated things that JXD have they've reproduced the icons and such, they haven't actually included Google Play. So when you're going into the Play Store and install your first Google Play game, your app, it will actually ask you to install Google Play, and that has to be installed separately, which is there. The other thing I've noticed is a few of the apps that should run on this device simply don't. They kind of boot up and then they sort of disappear, black screen, and you never actually get to play the game, which is a damn shame. I think it's not optimized in that way. I think the optimization's a little bit poor. All the apps from the Game Center that they include work fine, but all the apps from the Google Play Store itself, some of them just don't work at all. But functionality-wise, this thing works great, and I'm still using the analog sticks because they still work and feel nice. They haven't broke on me yet. This is still a solid device. I've dropped this a few times as well with no breakage whatsoever anywhere. The Wi-Fi signal is a little bit hit and miss. For you guys who have a Wi-Fi antenna downstairs and you're using this upstairs, you can still get a signal, and it still registers there being a signal in the top right hand corner. As you can see now, actually you can't, but there's like 4 or 5 bars that it can fill, and it will still connect, and it will say there's 3 bars connection, but you won't actually be able to do anything with the device. Now, I just think that's due to the antenna strength of the actual device rather than your signal. It just seems to be a bit weird. Luckily, I've got Wi-Fi downstairs and a Wi-Fi upstairs, so the Wi-Fi upstairs works well. Overall, guys, this device is brilliant. The non-inclusion of the Bluetooth is a bit of a shame, and the fact that they don't have a list anywhere of what apps really work, unless you go into the forums, and even there they don't list every single game that works with the analog stick, so finding them can be a bit awkward unless you use the Game Center app included. All of these little funky icons that they've included, some of them just root to nothing, which is also a bit strange. Like if I go to the emulator store, it will just show me what emulators I've got installed, and it will actually show you a store. There is no store. I don't know why they've called it an emulator store. It's not a store. But overall, I've enjoyed this product. I think it's a fantastic design device. I think there's a lot of things that you can appreciate, and there's a lot of things that do kind of stand out that are missing or different to your usual Android device. Now I use a Kindle a lot, so I play a lot of things on Kindle, and it's a big sort of thing for me. So if I go on to Order and Chaos now, I'll show you the controls quickly on Order and Chaos, because this game works brilliantly with the controls. I got an update, damn you. It works brilliantly with the controls on the JXD. There's a few games that work really well. Gameloft games seem to work pretty decent, but there are some that do have controller support, but for some reason don't pick up the actual touch OK there. Don't pick up the actual sticks or anything like that, so it's kind of hit and miss. And as this video was kind of prompted to do by JXD themselves, you know, they said to me, you've got to do this video. This video needs to be done. Needs to be larger, and you know, that's fine. I don't mind doing a larger video for you guys. You know, you sent me the product at the end of the day, so in all fairness, it's only fair for me to do the video. And I'm sorry that I haven't done it sooner, but I've been busy. I've been watching E3, and I've been pre-ordering loads of games. And if you've seen the Black Ops 3 Juggernaut Edition and the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy Edition, you know, I have those pre-ordered now. So there's tons of stuff coming out on the gaming scene that's really cool, and I've been trying to keep up to date with. And I haven't really had time for YouTube videos, which has been a bit of a shame. Right, so let's log in. Yeah, this is my all-time favourite game to play on this device, and it runs smoothly. The battery life is quite strange. Sometimes I can get a good 5 hours out of it. Sometimes I can get 2-3 hours. To charge it, it only takes around about an hour, so it's not too long a charge. Charges quite quickly, and the charging cable, the actual plug charger I've got with it works quite well, despite the fact it's a European charger and not a UK plug, which is a bit of a pain, but it works really well. So as you see, this game actually runs brilliantly. I played this mostly because it actually works with the controls. Unless I play the emulators, it's hard to find an Android game that will recognize the controls. Like Nova 3, for example, should recognize the controls, and it simply doesn't, which is kind of sad, really. I would have loved to have played Nova 3 on this device. So this is you know, a really decent Android tablet, and the screen is pretty clear. It's HD ready. It's not quite full HD, but it's still a decent touch display, and it's very feels very sort of well built in that sense. It doesn't feel cheap.